Okay. Hello, everyone. This is day three, I believe, of LLU League. We are gonna be seeing your mom versus Fusion today. I am here today with Bones.
Yes, hello everybody. Very excited to be here for LLU Day 3, Fusion versus your mom. And I've been excited for this matchup for a whole week, and I'm very excited to be kicking off our weekend with this. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially with Fusion making themselves known in past LLU seasons, especially with like season two and season three. It's
Yeah. I
definitely
feel like
exciting
they've
to
been
see
around
them
for a
back.
while.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so getting in today, we are gonna be seeing we did see your mom last week, so it will be interesting to see how they pair up against Fusion here, especially with a lot of the powerhouses they do have on Fusion here.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see once again. Mushin will be dual faction hunting and surviving for all of the matches or for all of the rounds. So it's definitely going to be really interesting to see. I mean, last week, he did not break a sweat. It was full
Yeah,
performance, both
absolutely.
halves. So we'll really need to see, if Mushin's able to keep that up, or if UM will be able to kind of unseat the, I would say like the undisputed dual faction champion of the tournament so far. It's definitely really exciting to kind of see, how players can both hunt and survive. And yeah, just being able to kind of compare that as well with with a more traditional setup, four survivors, one designated hunter. And yeah, that's it's kind of tradition versus, I would say, um confidence, I guess, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I can't
I'd say
find the
that's
right
okay.
word. It's like close, but not quite.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, definitely, especially with how tough it can often be to dual faction. It's honestly really impressive that they're able to keep up the momentum even until later rounds. Even if we go to round three, that's like 6 games of just nonstop tournament.
Yeah, and especially with the band pick being so much faster than it used to be, now that we have tournament mode, it I feel like that as well can also affect dual faction gameplay, where you just have less time to rest and kind of reset yourself, going from hunter to survivor mindset so quickly. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely an undertaking to go through. But we are getting into our bans and picks now. Your mom won the coin toss, so our map bans are going to be Chinatown and Moonlit, and Lakeside will be our round one map. So this is fun. I like seeing Lakeside. I feel like it's kind of become more of a round two, round three map. It's a little bit rarer, I would say, to see it in round one these days, but it's a fun map to be in round one, because I feel like it's definitely the open spaces, I feel like, can be sort of deceptive
Oh
when
yeah,
it comes
definitely.
to, for both hunter and survivor. You run into the open space and either completely mind game the hunter, or I mean, if you're going against a goat man, that's just cage city, free cages right there. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
absolutely.
very interested to see how the areas are able to be utilized here.
Yeah, Lakeside as a map, round one, especially in this case, it's pretty much asking for that goat man. Or if here they just want to go for that goat man, get maybe that guaranteed 3 or 4K, especially considering how good of a map it is for Goatman. It's definitely a solid choice for round one here.
Yeah, we will see fusion hunting first, so that will be Mushin up first here. I definitely would like to see that goat man, but in round one, seriously, anything can happen, and we have seen so many unprecedented picks, and it's the beauty, I would say, of NAU tournament not really subscribing to meta, and with everybody playing to their own strengths. So, absolutely we could see a goat man here, but it's definitely, there's no bans. So, and picking an unconventional hunter in round one can absolutely serve a team in later rounds, going into round three, possibly even pushing into overtime. Um, so that, I would say, can really. I lost my train of thought completely. So But yeah,
But
having a an unconventional pick in round one leaves more hunters open for later on. So I would be interested to see, if we end up seeing that strategy come through again.
yeah, definitely. It's just, I mean, yeah, as you said, we've seen a lot of unconventional picks, especially with how it's been going. We get to maybe sometimes often save those better hunters for later rounds. Like even if Goatman isn't locked in that round one, we still like he could always be banned, but that also leaves room open for other hunters like Hullabaloo, Ivy, and all the other quote unquote meta hunters.
Our Fantastic Four.
Yes.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of hunters on the table that we could see, as well as survivors. If the survivors, I would say, are kind of looking at that goat man, I would like to see, maybe some puppeteer. We've been seeing puppeteer a lot in round ones. Magician as
Mhm.
well, I feel like has been kind of that underground strong pick for the survivor side. I'm going to put my hat in the ring here. I would love to see some harassment. I know that both teams have very very skilled harassers,
Mhm.
and I would love to see, let's bring back that cowboy. I think we did actually see a little bit of cowboy, or at least it was teased last week. So
Yes.
I would
Yes.
love to see more of that.
Yeah, but also against someone like Goatman, especially in places like Japan with IJL, there's often a lot of times you see first round Enchantress because a lot of Goatmans in Japan tend to use the chip hits more often and conserve their energy for cages. So it definitely
Yeah,
could be interesting seeing if she will be picked for round one here.
I would love to see Enchantress. I feel like, especially since her recent buff, she's become so much more viable.
Oh yeah,
Finally having a better early game chase than Prisoner. It only took what, like 4 years
4 years,
for that
yeah.
to. Well, I guess not, because Prisoner didn't start out with the stun initially, but once
Yeah,
Prisoner got that buff, I mean, next to Enchantress, who takes the initial 20 seconds that it used to take to get that initial stun, now that
yeah,
she has one at the beginning of the match, it's just so much more viable and so much more of a fun pick.
yeah, definitely. And just especially with Enchantress, you get so many more opportunities. You get a lot more breathing room when it comes to how close the hunter is. It gives you more chances to rotate out of like maybe a bad kiting area, maybe all the pallets were used, and you have like a three stack, and you can just use that to rotate to a way better area with all the pallets, all like completely unused, no one's decoding, but definitely a strong round one pick as of late.
Yeah. You know what I would like to see? If we're gonna kind of throw things out there. Round one, no hunter bans. I feel like Lizard's not the worst pick for Lakeside.
Lizard wouldn't be horrible.
Lizard wouldn't be horrible. I feel like the one thing with Lizard is just the lack of reliability, and in round one, you
Yeah,
really do want to make a statement with a four-man elimination. I feel like that's really what you want to strive towards, or at the very least, a tie. Lizard's definitely a good tie hunter, but I would be afraid if a Lizard was picked. We did actually see a Lizard at IJL the
we
other
did.
day, and I took infinite like it felt like taking poison damage
Oh, absolutely.
the entire
For
time.
for anyone who saw it, it didn't go well.
It did not go well. It did
It did.
not. It did not go well. But
Two
yeah, I mean, but
harassers, Merc decoding. It's
oh
just a
my
recipe for
god. I
disaster.
don't even think I was paying attention to the Survivor comp. I was like half watching at that point, and then I saw Lizard on my screen, and I just screamed. This is not what I wanted. But I mean, if we are looking at, unconventional picks that we've seen in comp lately, Nightmare has been really, that
Yes.
100% win rate thanks to RC Aka has been crazy to watch. I'm just praying that it doesn't take off, and so we don't have to deal with the nightmare nerf, because I wouldn't like that. But we are getting into our bans and picks here, and I would say pretty standard here. We've got Seer and Antiquarian taken off the list right away.
Yeah, definitely. We know that anti is super strong, especially as we were saying like before against that goat man. Being able to get distance from him is definitely one of those more important things, and definitely things that the hunter has to look out for. And Seer is in the same boat, just honestly being able to extend his teammates' kites, being a little, honestly, really strong for that round one.
Yeah. But of course, as a replacement for Seer, we've got Psychologist as well as the Magician that I was talking about earlier. Definitely happy to
Yes.
see kind of that like lower key a little bit. I would say a safer pick. Magician's a little bit like he's one of those characters that has I would say he has a very simple kit. He's one of the first characters released. You don't really have
Mhm.
to, do a lot of fancy work in order to be great with him. And
Yeah.
that's that's the makings of a meta character is one that's not too hard to learn but can absolutely be effective. And using those decoys, especially I would say in the paladed areas around Lakeside, looking around like the dilapidated shack over at the shore, or the double 11 near small boat, or even big boat, obviously very strong, but also with being able to block off some of those smaller window areas with the decoy can extend a kite for so long.
Yeah, definitely.
We're rounding out here with a Gravekeeper rescue as well as Acrobat, so we're looking at a very kite-heavy team. And yep, we will see Goatman round one. So yeah, not taking any prisoners here, wanting to get that Goatman out before he's inevitably banned. And yeah, I'm very excited to kind of finally see that Goatman. I think I've actually not commentated for a Goatman in this tournament yet. I think all the matches
I
that
don't
I've done
believe
have
so,
been
actually.
no, yeah, zero Goatman action. So yeah,
We
finally,
have
my friend
had,
Jeffrey Bonavita.
yeah, I think we have had more off meta pick round one hunters in this tournament than your standard like Goatman round one pick. So it's definitely exciting to see him finally take his turn in the spotlight for once here.
Yep, looks like we'll be spawning next to the shack. Psychologist right there, as well as Magician. Acrobat actually put in prison over there on the boat. But yeah, that is honestly, I feel like this is a very strong strategy here. We've got Acrobat carrying Tide Turner as well as Flywheel. So having him out of the way of the chase means that he can absolutely come in for even first rescue. First rescue, I would say, wouldn't be too bad because it will allow Gravekeeper to conserve that tide for later on, and also his resources. So yeah, having a second tide turner, I do love it when teams bring a second tide turner just for that extra rescue potential.
Yeah, definitely. And it honestly, it is completely up to our Goatman here, but honestly, I think the Magician might be our better chase here, especially with how annoying Shaq can be. But I guess we'll just
Hmm.
have to see. All right, we're heading into round one, first half. My name is Sam. I'm here with Bones. Good luck to both teams.
Yes, best of luck to both teams. Yeah, I almost feel like we might just go straight for psychologist here, but it
Yeah.
is dangerous with the shack. But we'll see if she might actually just
Oh.
rotate away from it. Looks like she's hiding now. Goatman
Oh.
expecting the rotation.
Oh.
Wow, okay, okay. We're already here with the mind game psychologist not
Good
moving from her
call.
spawn point, and it's working.
Good, honestly, good call on the psychologist there, knowing that hunters would assume survivors would just head to the strongest kiting area. Honestly, best bet is just to stay hidden. Especially with psychologist, you want to preserve that stress for as long as you can in that early game. But it does look like we're going to be finding our Gravekeeper taking a
Ooh.
really early hit with that cage.
Yeah, that was a really great cage there. Just being able to cut the Gravekeeper off immediately with that Cypher. And a second cage out, looking to play around the pallet. Gravekeeper did use his shovel, but it wasn't hit, and he popped out of it. Unfortunately,
Oh,
he's just going to go down here. And yeah, it's a fairly early down. There's definitely some progress that can be kind of recouped while the Gravekeeper sits on chair. And it's definitely lucky as well that we have Acrobat as our secondary rescue here with that Tide Turner, but
Yeah,
it looks like
definitely.
Goatman already sniffing him out.
Definitely wanting to cut off that other Tide Turner as early as possible. We're gonna be seeing a stuffed rescue.
Oh!
Oh, not quite hitting the chair.
Wow.
Oh, very good
And
shovel
Gravekeeper
from the
able to get back in
Gravekeeper.
the shovel.
Yeah, just playing around that pallet that's thrown down. You can't hit under the pallet, so we're gonna be using that opportunity to rotate away. Goman is forced to use a cage here if he wants to force Gravekeeper out of shovel.
Oh man, yeah, it does. That does take 2 hits to with the chip damage, and we're looking for
Oh,
another
we're gonna...
cage. But actually, ooh, great job by Gravekeeper using that stun
Ooh.
for a second, but
Oh,
unfortunately going to get sent right over the exit gate. Nothing to work with over there, and he will be seeing his second share. We are at 3 ciphers remaining, so we've been able to get a little bit of that progress back around. But with the survivors still missing a cipher, they're gonna need to, I would say, let Gravekeeper marinate on share and
definitely.
try to get all that cipher progress done.
Oh, just barely missing Magician spotting him. We're gonna be seeing that wand
Ooh.
very well timed for that. Taking that hit. Are we gonna be seeing a stuffed rescue?
Looking for the stuff here, and
We're
with
gonna
a
be seeing the blink come
blink!
out.
Magician, no time to react with a decoy or with that flywheel, so that will be a stuffed rescue. Gravekeeper taking off, still with the shovel, still with that Tide Turner, unfortunately, and still with 3 ciphers remaining. Now, we're nearly at 2 ciphers, but Acrobat forced off of that center cipher here, and he will need to go in for the rescue.
Yeah,
Blocked off with the cage as well.
Ooh. Very well played using that cage while Acrobat is breaking it, getting the hit on the Magician. I mean, not the Magician, the Acrobat here.
Yeah, right now we really can just play musical chairs for Goatman. With 3 ciphers remaining and only 3 survivors on the field, as long as you keep 1 survivor on chair at all times, who's gonna decode that last cipher?
Yeah, we are going to be seeing that Psychologist using her stress like we talked about earlier. Getting to heal that Magician. Hopefully he is able to make it in this time. We're going to be seeing that decoy come out.
Looking... Oh, not quite able to get that
unfortunately mistimed
flywheel.
flywheel.
And
Like,
looking
not quite
for
out.
the stuff again.
Yeah, however, we are looking at super low energy here on that Goatman. Although we do have Psychologist making her way over.
Just looking for the cage here. Going to opt for the chip hit and just force that rescue out. That center cipher is complete. We are now at 1 cipher remaining. It's sitting at 66%. I believe it's the one at the boat, though, so they will need to be able to get back to that. Looks like Magician looking to go there, but unfortunately just cut off with another cage. And the accuracy of these cages is so astounding here. You know, even with the low resentment, needing to make every cage count, he's absolutely doing that.
Yeah, definitely, especially with these back steps here, leading into those cages, giving them almost like no time to react at all. We're gonna be seeing that flywheel come out from Psychologist, very well played. But are we gonna see that rescue come in? Yes, just barely. Magician using a wand, blocking for the Psychologist, getting that pallet down in time.
Yeah, very tight timing on that decoy, but thankfully, yeah, avoiding the hit. We're looking back at the cipher, though. Acrobat is at full health, and he still has the bomb to use, so that will lock off Goatman's skills for just a moment. Oh, but he still takes a hit within the cage, so he will be back down to half health here. Psychologist... Oh, not quite able to get that cage yet. Oh!
Acrobat running right back into the Goatman. We are going to be opting for a chair here. However, that cipher, they're already working on that. But our Acrobat doesn't have borrowed time, but it doesn't matter. He's already on his last chair here. Is Psychologist going to be able to pop this cipher here?
I think
we are going to see the pop.
Yeah, just barely. We do have Blink Up from Goatman. We'll see if he opts it. Yep, okay, we are just going to go ahead and use it. Magician has pinged Dungeon, so Magician may know where Dungeon is. We could see a potential Dungeon escape if Mushin decides to chair here. Yes, okay, we are going to go for the chair. And the question now is whether Goatman will be able to find that magician in time. You know, there's only so many places he can be. Goatman does have pretty good mobility, but he doesn't have any cages left. So heading to the corn
Yeah.
gate here might. We'll see. Are we gonna go back in for a rescue?
It looks like we're going for that rescue, especially with Mushin here not getting any tinnitus at Cornfield Gate. Unfortunately, we didn't see the magician
Oh,
going in though, so we are going to be getting that rescue on the psychologist here.
yep, definitely did find. Oh, actually found
Oh, and
psychologist
the
again.
pellets went into
Oh,
the cage.
whoa! Wow!
Oh my
Nicely
gosh.
done from psychologist.
Looks like we are going to be heading
The
for that magician. However, he only has a flywheel to work with. He's already ready for that Goatman coming up here. We got 45 seconds left on detention here.
I think he was able to see the trail at least a little bit. Yeah, we are tracking magician here. Psychologist not quite at the opposite gate just yet, but I believe she was migrating in that direction. Going to use a second cage, looking for magician. And ooh,
Trying to
a
use the
beautiful flywheel. Oh,
but
unfortunately, not quite able to sustain that.
yeah, however, we are seeing that stall here from Mushin here. Teleport is already up now. We're gonna be seeing the teleport.
Psychologist
But
gets
our
dungeon.
psychologist is
Psychologist
on the
gets dungeon.
dungeon.
Psychologist gets dungeon. Absolutely incredibly played endgame here. Yeah, I do believe both of them were dead on chair for that entire time. So as soon as one of them was chaired, I'm surprised that Mushin didn't go for the slug.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, it might be a bad sign for Fusion here, especially not getting that 4K round one. But
Yeah.
it could always turn in favor for Fusion if their survivors are able to get that two escape here, putting them in the lead.
Yeah. Definitely really, really well played by not allowing that four-man elimination and taking advantage of the fact that I believe that Mushin just didn't know where Dungeon was and hadn't gone past that area over the course of the match. So yeah, just the lack of expectation of that Dungeon escape, especially, as you were saying, Sam, in tournament, even if you're already losing, every point matters, every point counts.
Yeah,
And yeah, not going for the slug game there, not going to extend the match. And that can absolutely be the make or break difference between winning or losing round one. And this puts Hunter in a position where, it's a little bit less. It's not less pressure, I would say. Three-man elimination leading to a tied round, four-man elimination leading to a win, because obviously Fusion survivors are incredibly strong.
yes.
But it's a little bit less stressful than going into this second half of round one with a four-man elimination on the table and needing to get a second one in order to even it out. So yeah, it definitely puts things in a much more, I would say, dangerous position because the round isn't a guaranteed tie with a four-man to four-man elimination.
Yeah, definitely. And it's honestly, if UM is able to get the point lead here, that could be really dangerous for Fusion here, especially if they're not able to catch up. We could be heading into like a something like a round three here with UM in the lead if they're able to keep up their momentum.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what decides to pull out here in order to maintain that momentum as well. And of course, Fusion survivors and Mushin as well, as we do have our dual faction going on with Fusion. So I feel like going from being the hunter and not securing that four-man elimination immediately into survivor, you already know what you have to do. You're already out for blood.
Yeah,
So yeah, I feel like we're really in for a great going forward. The intensity is not going to let up.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, we did just see the Goatman. We could be possibly seeing another Goatman round one here unless decide they want to pull out maybe a more unique first round pick here, like we were talking about earlier. Possibly a lizard.
Ah, I see. That's the thing. I do not want to see a lizard right now, especially when you want to guarantee a four-man elimination, or at the very least a three-man. Lizard is just so exploitable. It scares me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely I would love to see a Goat Man, Hullabaloo maybe. Could also see, Ivy, Opera, Wheel, Geisha,
Oh,
Hermit,
I would love
Nightmare.
a geisha or wheel. Or a nightmare, honestly. Round one nightmare.
Nightmare's not that bad on Lakeside. He actually does have the map control capable in order to, kind of handle this big of a map. So it wouldn't be the worst option, and probably wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be the worst. We will see for our first two bans though, from Hunter Ghostly. A Gravekeeper as well as a Seer, and we've got the Perfumer in response to that Seer ban, as well as a Magician.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, being able to see a perfumer, especially now round one, it's honestly surprisingly like refreshing to see such a pick, especially considering like perfumer hasn't really been meta or like consistently strong. Like honestly being called more of a presence feeder than the end, but hopefully we are able to see that perfumer really outsmart whoever our hunter is here, especially if it's a goat man, we're able to possibly mind game that cage, being able to teleport back, going to different walls all over, keeping that goat man on his toes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised here as well. For our bands being, seer, psychologist, puppeteer, they all kind of handle the same niche that Perfumer already filled in the first pick. And in response to that, we will see the acrobat as well as the mercenary. So allowing that rescuer out after banning Gravekeeper. I almost wonder if we're gearing up for a Hullabaloo with the amount of characters that were banned that can take multiple hits specifically. It's kind of like
Definitely.
extra covering the bases. So even with Perfumer out on the field, choosing to go for those bans, I feel like might speak to a Hullabaloo, just trying to avoid, the designated tanks. But
Yeah.
still, Mercenary on the field as well. So a lot of damage as well as mind games that this team is capable of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and as we saw like last round, magician able to even stall, even if it's for like a minimal amount of time, can really throw off a hunter.
Yeah,
But
I am. I guess
oh
we're just.
my god!
You're kidding. You're kidding. You're
Oh my
kidding. You're kidding.
gosh!
I was
Round
joking.
one
I was
nightmare.
joking.
Oh
Round one.
my
This is
gosh.
beautiful. This is beautiful.
Yeah, definitely explaining the getting rid of those those tankier survivors.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my
Nightmare
gosh.
round one. taking a page from Japan professional region. Yeah, I did say we're in for some crazy matches today. Happy Nightmare Day.
Happy Nightmare Day. Oh my god. But see, being able to see a nightmare round one, or honestly a nightmare in general, especially in an NA tournament, it's awesome.
I was not expecting this. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Nightmare's not the most difficult hunter to pick up.
Yeah,
So like it does make sense that as soon as like you kind of see his potential, it's like, oh, okay, this is actually like a doable thing. But I don't know. I kind of thought it would take longer to catch on, but I am so excited that it's not. And actually, if we're looking at the persona webs here, it looks like only two survivors. So we got, Mercenary and Acrobat are the only survivors carrying Borrowed Time. Both Magician and Perfumer do not. So that can mean a lot when it comes to Nightmare Endgame here, especially once we see what Nightmare has on his persona, if he's able to swap to Teleport or just bringing Teleport initially. But heading into round one, second half for versus Fusion, I'm Bones, joined by Sam. Happy Nightmare time!
Happy Nightmare Time. Oh my god, they have Master Pet.
Yes, they're doing that just for you.
Oh
All
my god,
right.
they're
So it
doing
looks
it
like
just for me.
it looks like we are actually going to see that up down confined space and detention on Nightmare. So no trump card in play. And that's going to make things very interesting, especially coming into endgame. It does look like Acrobat's going to be our first chase here, looking to get our target lock. We will get that, but Acrobat able to vault this window till Kingdom Come, especially with that white bomb there to slow down Nightmare's vault.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with this chasing Acrobat first here, it honestly might not work out too well for the Nightmare. Even with that confined, this is just a really strong area for Acrobat. especially if we're able to mind game a lot here. We are going to be, however, we do have that fast pallet breaking with the confined space here. The Acrobat just using those pallets as advantage. All the we already got 3 ciphers halfway done. Just gonna be seeing the
Yeah.
firebomb come out here. We're gonna be seeing the
Oh,
warp come out from our nightmare. Beautiful dash hit here. We're not gonna be seeing the flywheel come out just yet. Probably saving it for our last hit here.
yeah, Warp on Nightmare is absolutely very strong, but forcing that out in order to get our first hit. Very, very strong initial kite from the Acrobat. Are we going to be able to get this hit here? No. And another slow vault. Well, no, I mean, just normal slowdown with the Mud Bomb there. So, yeah, just Acrobat continuing to extend this kite. And Flywheel as well is still online.
Definitely with 3 ciphers already finished. We're already starting on our 4th one here, and soon to be our 5th. It's not looking too great for our nightmare here. Are we gonna? We are. Oh, but we're gonna be falling a little bit behind with that Acrobat using a bomb here, just pulling even more distance.
Yeah, I think that is the maximum amount of bombs that Acrobat can have at this time, so not the worst right now. And Acrobat looking for the flywheel. Nope, just going to go ahead and take that hit. Already with 2 ciphers remaining, Mercenary also in the area. So yeah, if Nightmare is looking for a 3 to a 4-man elimination here, it's definitely a steady tie trajectory with the amount of pressure that he can have at endgame. But yeah, he's definitely going to need to look out and conserve that warp, especially heading into the remainder of this match.
Yeah, definitely. Especially looking to pressure those ciphers with our crows here. Definitely wanting to honestly just disrupt this progress as much as possible. But honestly, Nightmare really shines during that end game. Unfortunately, just not able to get like a ton of presence early is kind of bad for our
Oh my
Nightmare here.
god. Beautiful rescue from the Mercenary, just coming in from behind right before half, and with that Tide Turner as well. Ciphers are looking to... Yeah, they're going to be primed by the time Acrobat goes down or even takes a hit here. So, yeah, we are looking at a 4-man endgame. Acrobat is also one of those characters who does have borrowed time here. So, yeah, nothing for Fusion survivors to worry about heading into this endgame. Nightmare just looking to get Acrobat down as soon as possible, but it looks like the survivors are also already posted up at the gates. This is going to be a very difficult endgame if we're looking for even a tie. And yup, there we go with the Cypher Pop. Acrobat still with Flywheel online, and Nightmare not yet at full presence. We're going to use the Warp to try and catch up, but with no dash just yet. And Acrobat not quite able to get that Flywheel out, but both gates are actively...
Seeing the teleport come out. Oh, we are seeing that Perfumer get downed here. Beautiful dash from the Nightmare. We're just going to be opting to chair that Perfumer here. However, that Acrobat does still have Exit Path, and it does look like our survivors are pathing over to try and remedy this situation, trying to get maybe even a 3 escape here. Acrobat only being chaired once. We do have, I believe, our Mercenary nearby. Acrobat using his Exit Path here. However, we do have Magician making his way over to Perfumer's chair here.
Looking for the Mercenary for just a moment. We do see the Crow coming out, but Acrobat's actually going to catch it. So no opportunity to Crow over to the chair. That gate is also nearly open. Perfumer not quite up just yet. Okay, nope, there we go. And she also has Tide, so that gate is guaranteed to open even if Nightmare arrives over there. I think this maximum 1-man.
Yeah,
unless Mercenaries... Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately for our net. Oh.
If Mercenary stays out here...
This could be bad. Are we going to be... Oh, but is our Nightmare's not going to be able to catch up with the Mercenary here, even with the delayed damage? It's just more than enough time for that Mercenary to get out. Yeah.
Wow, and a 3-man escape for Fusion, bringing us to 6-2 for the first round in favor of Fusion. And that is the risk of bringing, a hunter who is not hard meta in that kind of a situation. Nightmare has been very strong, as even on big maps. We've seen him mostly on Moonlit in particular because of its openness. But yeah, the Acrobat just having full control over the pallets, over the windows near the small boat. just
Yeah,
nothing really that Nightmare could do, especially I mean, I feel like the Warp versus Blink argument, I'm personally in favor of Warp because it has a lesser cooldown and you
definitely.
can kind of do the exact same thing. But I don't know, I feel like Blink might have been at least a little bit more precise there.
Yeah, definitely. I also just think, especially against when you're playing Nightmare with no presence, just Acrobat is always such a rough first chase, especially in objectively one of the strongest kiting areas in the map.
Yeah, just, I feel like maybe I don't know. I feel like maybe bringing insolence and going for the bird teleport or even just using the warp to find a different target as soon as it became clear that that acrobat was not going to let up. Acrobat is just such a strong character in that kind of a situation, especially when you have, all of those walls, all of those windows, and really great usage of the bombs as well from Acrobat, having the slow vault bomb right at the beginning to force Nightmare to not vault that window, can't block it off. Even with bringing confined space and having a slightly faster vault speed, it's not really going to do too much when you're slowed down by, I believe it's 60% for the ice bomb. So yeah, it's a tough situation to bring that bird into, and unfortunately we left with a little turkey. But heading into round two, it's best of three. Anything can happen. UM absolutely has an opportunity to make a comeback here.
Yeah, definitely, especially if they are able to get a if Yoma is able to get a 5-man or 4-man elimination, getting 5 points, that would put them ahead of Fusion here. But I guess we'll have to see how this round is going to play out here.
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially with UM having that nightmare global ban heading into round two and three. We've still got plenty of hunters open, Goatman as well still open, Hullabaloo open as well. So there's a lot of room for UM to kind of maneuver and perform coming into the later rounds.
Yeah,
We are
definitely.
actually going to sub out for your mom. So instead of ghostly hunting going forward, we will see Fafa coming in. So that also broadens our hunter pool for UM and does, give us a little bit more, I would say, variety heading into the next round or even round three.
Yeah, and definitely, honestly, I would love to see a spider. Like being able to see a
I
spider. I mean, it Spider isn't the greatest tournament pick. I think everyone knows this, but honestly, being able to watch Violetta gameplay is always just so entertaining, and I love watching.
It is. I feel like Fafa's also been like the definitive spider player for
Yes.
God even knows how long by now.
Yeah,
Us
definitely.
2020 old heads.
Oh my gosh. It's been so long. This
The good old days of Dream Witch meta.
Oh my gosh. If we never got Opera, if we never got Ivy, we'd still have Dream Witch in our top
Nah,
3.
I'm a meta believer. The meta has to keep on moving. It's new times, new days,
Yeah.
flywheel.
Oh my gosh. Everyone when Flywheel was first added, everyone was going crazy over it, like both hunters and survivors.
Cause it was
It's like it was
broken,
broken when yeah, it was
and it
completely
still
broken.
is.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Always is, always has been.
I don't even I mean, I've been playing for more than long enough, but I honestly forgot what the old Flywheel used to be.
It was spectators, so
Yeah, I know it was Spectator, I just couldn't remember what it did.
you
I
could
never
see
used it.
every injured survivor on the map. I think it was kind of like,
It
and
was
I think
so
you got a movement speed boost. It was kind of like early, like a baby batter kind, what became batter's skill, where you get the speed boost when somebody gets injured. I think it had a little bit of that, as well as being able to see everybody who is injured, which
yeah.
was kind of an underwhelming skill.
For a
But so
final trait,
I'm
yeah.
glad that I'm glad they replaced it. I am a little bit. I do miss like the good old days of like you queue into your rank match and there's like a wildling who ends up having no borrowed time and broke knee jerk broken and
Yeah.
spectator.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. I mean, with Flywheel, it really killed hunters Wheel. Wheel used to be super strong, but then when they added Flywheel, it almost like it knocked Wheel down hard.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that was almost I wouldn't say the first, but like almost the first like major, we're shooting the hunter in the legs between competitive seasons. You
Yep.
guys have been winning for too long.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
mean Flywheel was just so game changing. It really like I feel like the old gen new gen debate is one that I'm not going to dip my toes into too much, but I do feel like there's a definite split between pre flywheel and post flywheel just because the way that the game was played became so different when that happened because you literally have basically survivor blink, which
Yeah,
I think that
definitely.
the nerf for flywheel that didn't go through or it partially went through where they were going to increase the cooldown to 150 seconds. I think that should have still happened, or they should make blink of a lesser cooldown, but what do I know? I'm just a hunter main.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah. See, the chat understands me. Nerf flywheel again.
honestly, that like cooldown reduction, what it was like, what wasn't it like 30 seconds?
I think it
It
was it was initially like 120-second cooldown, and they upped it to 130 or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It was supposed to be
it's
150,
nerf it
which
again,
is the same
kill
as
it,
blink. Yeah,
nerf it to
nerf
the
it again.
ground. Although
Yeah,
I
I
I would love for it to have that same starting cooldown as blink, so it could be an even easier like way of telling when that blink is ready when
I think
your flywheel is
is
up.
it is it slightly more or slightly less?
I think it's slightly less.
That's
And that's
crazy.
why people look at the surrender button timer.
Yeah. Looks like we will be on Leos for round two. So
Oh,
yeah, we're seeing a lot of these kind of tough for hunters maps, which is always fun to see when teams. I feel like if we do make it into round three, I'm kind of eyeing hospital and like,
oh,
are we gonna
definitely.
go that far? Are we gonna go that far? But Leos is definitely. I mean, when we're talking about buildings and talking about you know areas that are very strong for survivors, I feel like Leos is one of those maps where you can confined space that will not help you with that factory loop. You are on your own.
Yeah. And we are going to be having fusion hunting here. Just getting that Goatman global out of the way. Potentially saving room for something like an Ivy ban, Opera ban. But definitely on Leo's, that Opera might be very strong. So we might be seeing her get banned here.
You know what else would be strong on Leos?
Lizard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we're looking again, if we're
When
looking
we
at this
really think about
factory,
it.
one of the only hunters that can jump up those stairs. I will not miss a day of bringing up my lizard trivia when I have an excuse. We should know this by now. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't expect a lizard here, especially, I mean, maybe for Fusion if they want to get a little bit silly with it, considering they do have a significant lead on the previous round. It wouldn't be a bad pick to, at the very least, secure a tie,
Mhm.
and then, focus on the survivors to, um, you know, clean it up in the second half of the round, or just stay intact enough to head into round three if they want to play for that long. But yeah, I mean it's still very open even with the Goatman ban and even with
Yeah,
heading into a hunter ban as well.
yeah, definitely. I mean, especially with Mushin just tending honestly to lean more towards the meta, but I mean, you never know, honestly. We know like Mushin's a very skilled hunter. We've seen Mushin play before. We like honestly anything could happen.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've learned is that whenever you think something's certain and Mushin's playing, you're going to get something just completely out of the
You
box.
something you
So
do not expect.
okay, so no cowboy in sight here. Where he's gonna be our very first ban. I know we were seeing some cheering for UM bringing out that cowboy. I was also we were cheering it initially, but yeah, unfortunately, no cowboy action. Which that's a respect ban if I've ever seen one.
Honestly, definitely. A good cowboy can just honestly ruin the pace of your entire game, especially if
Yup.
they just know how to harass properly, how to
With the harassment combined with the struggle free, it can just
oh my
be
gosh.
deadly. So we will be seeing Professor as well as Patient. Yeah, speaking of those characters that can really utilize the factory, Patient, I feel like, as well as Aeroplanist, Toy Merchant. But I would say Patient definitely the most reliable of that group when it comes to being able to just, launch himself off the stairs and go flying into a random location and the hunter takes 5 years to catch up. You know what Hunter can count it? Oh, I'm kidding. I'm done.
Oh my god. We are never gonna hear at the end of it from this guy.
No, no, you won't. We will see Wildling as our third pick, Mechanic, and Antiquarian. Unfortunately, we'll be seeing Ban Jail. And oh, okay. Getting a little game 9 action up in here with, Winter Map. We're gonna go for Winter Game with the Wildling and Explorer picks. Hopefully we won't be following the trajectory of those characters' fates, but maybe
You
they'll
know,
see a little bit of redemption.
it'd be so messed up
Yeah.
if they pulled out a gamekeeper here.
I would love to, but I mean, hey, wait a minute. Gamekeeper can hard counter that
I
wildling,
was
so I
about
would
to say the
honestly,
gamekeeper would counter
yeah,
that wildling.
I would not be too surprised to see a gamekeeper here and kind of close out that winter game comp here. But yeah, being able to counter the wildling, somewhat soft countering explorer if he's able to get a hook. I would be excited to see a gamekeeper personally. I mean, I just love gamekeeper in general, but
I love
wouldn't be the worst
gamekeeper.
pick here.
Honestly wouldn't, especially on Leo's. It's a good map for gamekeeper, especially like countering that wildling, being able to set up those traps. Honestly, unfortunately, like Professor though, being able to soft counter at least the first hook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I would say wrench in the gamekeeper plan is that professor, but one professor versus multiple survivors who are, I would say, at least a little bit weak against gamekeeper. I mean, you've got hook versus hook with patient.
Yep.
Um, Explorer, I mean, Explorer is always just a wild card, especially on Leo's where there are just so many spots for him to hide. It's going to be very important for to place him in a spot where he can't really be found, and to be able to get that early game cipher progress. He does also impact that early game cipher progress because he isn't on a cipher. Okay, we will be seeing Opera Singer, so yeah, it's definitely a safer pick. And she can
Mhm.
also sniff out the Explorer if her shadow goes over the area where the Explorer is hiding. If he's kind of curled up into a wall, that shadow is gonna sniff him out immediately. So yeah, a little bit of potential there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, honestly, with Opera having so many places to dash to, especially with Leo's being one of the like most cluttered maps in the game, just having so many obstacles that Opera Singer can use, it might be a dangerous game for our survivors here as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we obviously know the strength of Mushin's opera singer, so uh not something to take lightly. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, I mean, this comp was definitely picked with opera singer in mind, especially with that wildling being in play here. But I mean, opera singer is just one of those hunters that, despite the amount of nerfs that she's been through, there's no getting her down. She's still cemented her place in the meta just due to her speed.
Yeah, even with how much she's been slowed down, it's always just room for new strategies to appear. Like honestly, she may not be as fast as she used to be, but she's still pretty fast.
Yeah, we'll see patient spawning in the middle here, looking for that first chase. I would say we're definitely going to see a rotation into factory from that, and Professor moving out if that is the route that Opera Singer chooses to take. We do still have Wildling and Explorer on the other side as well. So yeah, I feel like in terms of first chase, maybe even just going straight for Professor, ignoring the patient, and trying to force Professor out of the factory. But we will just have to see what Mushin chooses heading into round 2 first half. Fusion versus UM. Currently, Fusion is up by a round, but heading into round 2, once again, we're best of 3. Anything can happen, and best of luck to both teams.
Yes, good luck to both teams. It does look
Starting
like, yeah, we
off
are heading immediately for that patient there.
Yeah, Opera Singer not quite able to dash as quickly up these stairs. That is all one shadow. So we will see Patient getting quite a bit of distance already. Looking around. Yep, looks like he is going to go for the window vault here. He does have broken windows. So yeah, he's going to take the speed boost there. Professor's still in the area though. So not a lot of decoding able to get done early on. Professor needs to get out of the area or take the chase.
Oh, seeing the hit over the window, not quite a terror shock, but we do see that scale come out. Unfortunately, it's going to mean that it's going to be on cooldown for this professor just for a bit here. We do have blink up in 5 seconds if our operator is able to catch up.
Yep, and that's what Opera Singer is best at, catching up. And we will immediately see that. Looks like we made...
Final coming out, terror shock!
Yeah, not even needing that initial blink, and with Professor and Patient just kind of getting caught up on each other. It does look like Patient has been able to start a Cypher, and we do have Explorer with 50% pages, so Cypher Rush, not in a great position, but with the Explorer on the team and he still hasn't been found, we're definitely not in too bad of an early position here. These survivors just need to be very, very careful with how they play this out.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we do have our wildling here coming in for the rescue. We're gonna be seeing the hit come out, just getting that professor off chair here. Our blink is still up, but our professor scale just come off cooldown. Oh, getting that blink on the professor. Gonna be seeing him come instantly down here once that tide turner ends.
Yep, no wildling in the area to harass, and no harassers on the team. Explorer has reached 100% pages, so we are functionally at 4 ciphers remaining. But those ciphers just continue to creep along.
Unfortunately, though, for this being a second chair, they're starting to really fall behind here. They need to get some of these ciphers done, or else they're honestly might not even be able to catch up here.
Yeah. Professor nearly off chair. I would say, yeah, going in for the last possible second. It does look like Explorer actually in the area, but Mushin with all of these shadow decoys just looking around, looking for that Tinnitus. Yep, it does look like we've got the edge of Tinnitus here, so kind of triangulating where that Explorer might be. But yeah, no time to rescue Professor, just taking off back to the manor. 3 survivors on the field and 4 ciphers remaining. That math is not mathing.
Does look like we're going to be back on our patient here. We are going to... Very nice leap here from Mushin. But however, we do have a hook just to pull that distance. Making use of the pallet here.
Yeah, pallet as well as that knee-jerk reflex coming in handy. Mushin looking... Yeah, doesn't quite have that the recall up yet, so we won't see a double back. But just the amount of speed here, the amount of precision of not missing a single dash, just really coming in clutch. And Patient, yep, going to take a hit. We do have 2 ciphers remaining, though, and Explorer has quite a few pages. Wildling on Cypher Rush, though, is definitely going to be a bit rough here, and with Patient not having any items left, it is going to be difficult to extend this kite for much longer, but playing around a pallet, and
very well played.
Yeah. Just the mind gaming around that pallet and the speed of Opera Singer, it's kind of a trap that you just can't get out of.
Yeah. Now we are at 2 ciphers, both of them halfway done. Our Explorer does have a 41% page, using that to get it to honestly just pop immediately. However, we are going to be seeing that jump back. We're going to be trying to cut off Wildling here from that chair.
Able to get a hit on the board, looking for the basic hit. Patient is free.
Our blink is up. We're going for that Wildling instead, getting the hit through the pallet.
Yeah, and that Cypher's still not moving. I would say at this point... Okay, look, Are we digging for pages there? Yeah, it does look like Explorer is digging for pages. So we're looking to get that last 50% of the cipher up. And Patient in a chest here. We're just gonna have to see what he gets. Okay, an elbow pad, not bad. Definitely, ideally in this situation, you get a syringe and are able to heal up, but elbow pad, not the worst thing in the world. It's not like getting a perfume while you're already injured and going, all right, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, definitely. But if we're gonna want to see that 4K here, we gotta see Mushin play a bit more aggressive. Maybe even being able to cut off that Cypher now primed.
Oh!
They're just popping instead.
Impatient in the area. He did kind of push out a little too far, so immediately Mushin on his trail. Now, we can look for the one escape here, especially with Explorer already on the gate. Patient has used that elbow pad. We're not going to be able to rescue Wildling in time, and it doesn't look like Dungeon is on this side of the map either. So we are looking like a three-man... Yep, that is going to be a three-man elimination for Fusion once again. Now, Explorer getting out the gate here can be very good, but is just going to have to deliver on the second half of the round.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with how the points are looking right now. This is good. This is looking like 9-2 right now in favor of Fusion.
9 to
Definitely
3.
9-3. Is it 9-3? Oh yeah, 9-3 because the
It is
Explorers
9 to
hit.
3. Yep.
Yes, 9-3. Yeah, I can do math. But yeah, definitely we are gonna have to see uh pull their weight here, especially if they want to catch up to Fusion here.
Yeah, just really, it's a tough position to be in. I yeah, any if Fusion is able to get a tie with their survivors or better, that will be done in 2 rounds, and we will see them moving on to the finals. So really, a 3-man elimination, a 4-man elimination would definitely be ideal here, especially with the point situation being what it is. Getting that round on their side would be huge going into round 3. But yeah, it's all or nothing here in the second half of round 2.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, our best case scenario here is getting that 4-man elimination. Honestly, more evening out the points here, putting it on. If they're able to get that 4-man elimination, that would even out the points to round 9 and 8, which honestly would probably be the best case for here.
Yeah, I mean, in any situation, it is ideal to get a a 4-man elimination. So yeah, I feel like that's you go in as a hunter and you say we'll tie if we can, or we'll tie is the best case scenario usually.
Mhm.
But in a situation like this where you need to, three man is the bare minimum of a good result here for So
Yeah,
Fafa's got to lock in.
yeah, definitely. We could also honestly be seeing another opera singer. I know Fafa plays a bit of opera singer, although I'm not exactly sure how committed to opera singer he's played, but I do know that he has played opera singer a few times before in past tourneys. Definitely, hopefully getting to see another opera singer on this Leo's here.
Yeah, I feel like we could see opera singer. I feel like Soul Weaver's not terrible on Leo's memory. There's definitely a lot of spots where she can just kind of drop random webs and use those as speed boosts with barely a problem. So I feel like we could see that Soul Weaver as long as she's not banned. This is Fafa we're talking about. Everybody and their mother knows that Fafa is the Soul Weaver main. So Fusion is in a position where they can just go ahead and get rid of that Soul Weaver immediately and not even have to think
Definitely.
about it.
Yeah, honestly, respect band here might just be the way to go for Fusion. Honestly, not even risking that spider. Honestly, opting to maybe like take our more meta hunters just. But honestly, if they don't ban Goatman, we could also see that Goatman come out on this map.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing with Goatman on Leo's memory is being able to use the levels. There's a lot that Goatman can do around the stairs, and being able to kind of mind game into drop hits, coming from almost out of nowhere, from kind of using the stairs as that jumping point. So I would be excited to see a Goatman on Leo's, but even so, I mean, it's a tight situation to be in. Um, and Fusion survivors are incredibly strong.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, to move on to our round 3 here, we are gonna be seeing UM have to tie this out with a 3K or even a 4K.
Yeah, 4K most optimal situation. 3K still will bring them into round three. Anything less than that or anything more than that for Fusion will mean Fusion takes the win. So yeah, everything on the line here for UM and Fusion as well. I mean, ideally, you don't want to bring this into a round three. Rank opens in 15 minutes. We got places to be. So
Yep,
ideally for Fusion, closing this out, but ideally for UM, wanting to push this as far as possible in order to maybe bring it back in round three. I mean, we've seen comeback after comeback, so it is absolutely never over until, the stream is done.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, honestly, we could in our round 3, if we do end up getting there, we could be seeing some of these like even less like even more off meta picks. Like as you were mentioning earlier, I'd love to see a geisha.
Yeah, any of those rarer picks really. I always love to see rare picks. I'm still excited about Nightmare coming out in round one, even if the result was a little bit less than optimal. It's just fun to see, something other than the meta,
Yeah,
especially when
definitely.
it's so unexpected. So we will see Embalmer and Seer as our bans. UM not wanting to even play around with the Embalmer kind of giving a little bit of tie security with that coffin. Nope, nope, we do not. We do not want to see that. So yeah, definitely I would say safe here for those bans.
Are seeing that mechanic and novelist coming up. Honestly, we know how strong that mechanic is. Not taking her, like getting to pick her without that band coming through could prove really useful to fusion survivors here, especially with how strong mechanic is, being able to decode those multiple ciphers at once, especially if you get like a super strong kiter in starting out here.
Yeah, and that novelist as well. That's definitely a Mushin pick here. We've seen his novelist over and over again. And just a very strong pick as well. And with the mercenary making his return here, obviously, having that dedicated rescuer, it almost minus the novelist, having the mechanic and the mercenary here, it is a bit of a throwback to a tankier comp, kind of the good old days. But we're actually gonna go for the double decoder with that prisoner. We definitely saw a lot of decoder action last weekend. So it's fun to see that making a return. Fusion
Yeah,
taking advantage of that cipher rush.
honestly, yeah. In this case for Fusion, they just need a 2-man escape to secure the win here. So getting those ciphers done as fast as possible is honestly in their best interest in getting as many people out as possible, especially if you bring a full kite build on one of our decoders here, or even like a tied in flywheel on our mechanic.
I would love to see Tide Flywheel mechanic. I will always. I mean, I feel old talking about it because I feel like the meta itself has shifted towards um not bringing mechanic with Tide Turner, but I do like seeing mechanic with Tide Turner, especially when it comes to that end game where she can't decode as well. Having Prisoner on the team here, I mean, provided Prisoner doesn't take the chase, I feel like Prisoner is definitely not bad for a first chase contender.
Mhm.
Um, this is, I feel like as soon as we get to spawn selection, it is going to be, playing keep away with the mechanic.
Yeah, definitely. Just being able to use as much of that bot as possible without being interrupted, getting honestly having that fifth person on the field being able to decode could prove really dangerous for Fafa here.
Yeah, we do actually have that Soul Weaver open, so we could be seeing that with the Goatman ban. But I mean Nightmare and Goatman being the only hunters ban. Okay, we're gonna see an opera singer. So yeah, opera for opera.
Yeah, definitely. Like honestly, as we were talking about before, like Opera is just so strong on Leos. It's one of her better maps, just with how many obstacles there are to dash to. Like we saw in that mid game, we saw how fast Lucian was able to catch up with that Opera. But we are gonna see if Fafa is able to keep up that same momentum here, especially with a team as tough as this to work with against an Opera.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, 'cause I feel like there's definitely weaknesses that can be exploited. I mean, Prisoner obviously, Prisoner and Mechanic are definitely squishy here against the Opera Singer. And oh, that is an interesting spawn. Having the Mechanic in middle here actually turning out to be very smart. It looks like she is kind of out of the way. I guess we're kind of gonna see a repeat of that rotation into Factory. We'll just have to see if it's successful this time around. But yeah, Mercenary and Novelist acting as bait here. Prisoner in the oh, it actually looks like gonna be Bushin on Prisoner, so
I was about to say that we're
yeah,
seeing
that was
Moose
unexpected.
and
I thought we were
Prisoner.
gonna see Novelist. But yeah, heading into round two, second half, it's all or nothing for Fafa on UM. Fusion in the lead. Uh, Best of luck to both teams. UM
Best
needs a
of
3
luck.
or a 4-man elimination, and Fusion just needs to tie in order to close it out here.
Looks like we're heading immediately over. I believe that's our novelist here, I think.
Yeah. Novelist first chase heading well away from both of our decoders, so yeah, Fafa just needs to get Novelist down as soon as humanly possible in order to avoid the inevitable Cypher Rush, but already we've got 3 Cyphers on the go, and the pallet stun
Oh.
right away!
Yeah, we got about 1/4 of our book here. No,
Not quite
beautiful
getting the
patience with
hit.
that novelist here, taking the hit, but we are going to be seeing that we're going to be seeing speed boost come from vaulting that pallet here, using it to rotate over to a better area here for our novelist. Now Blink is up in about 6 seconds here, so we might be seeing a blink down on our novelist here if he's not able to gather another book in time. No, and we're just seeing the novelist take it down here. However, we do have 4 ciphers being worked on, with 2 of them 30% away from being finished.
Yeah, definitely. That Cypher Rush is going crazy. But Novelist was down before Blink could come out. Now, Opera Singer doesn't have Trump card. We are looking at a confined space detention Opera Singer, so Blink is going to be the only trait Fafa will have during this match. But just waiting for the rescue here. It actually looks like Mechanic might be moving in, despite the fact that she has wanted order. Are we leaving Mercenary to come in for a second rescue, or is Mechanic acting as bait? Yeah, Mercenary actually coming in through the back door. Mechanic is the distraction here. And Fafa is going to take that bait. Now, it is an after-half rescue, so that's definitely going to allow Fafa to, move away from the chair. Mercenary actually moving away. Are we going to even rescue? I would say like 99% rescue the not.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like a really late rescue, especially because it's already after half. We just want to stall for as long as possible, get as much time as possible. We do already have 2 ciphers finished, one more about to be finished, one at 20%. We're gonna, oh, Mercenary getting hit, even though he used an elbow pad, unfortunately. We're gonna be seeing that jump back. Is our novelist taking the hit through the pallet. Tide
Yeah,
Turner
not
expiring.
quite.
We are gonna be seeing that novelist be eliminated here, being 1 out of the 3 eliminations that Fafa needs here to move on to round 3.
Getting that double down was huge for Fafo's momentum, especially since, the plan... I feel like the plan there was, even if he gets hit, Novelist should still have enough time to be able to get another book, but that's just not the case. Novelist falling for that pallet bait, and Mercenary on share. We have 3 ciphers remaining. Now, we do have Prisoner on the field, as well as Mechanic. Mechanic actually right here in the area. Oh, but she's
Get
gonna
off your
get
robot!
found!
Oh, no!
No! Yeah, just not aware that Fafa was coming up behind her. And that was just a free down. 2 survivors down, looking for the bot now. And Prisoner not moving in.
Seeing the blink
We're gonna
come out for
actually use
that
the blink to
bot.
down the bot.
Yeah, but considering this mech has been controlling her bot, she hasn't been self-healing, so by the time Fafa gets back here, we're gonna be seeing that mechanic not even close to picking up herself.
Yeah, Prisoner moving away from this for now.
Dropping that mechanic. We're looking for Cypher progress. However, Fafa does spot that Prisoner decoding with the Cypher shaking. Now
Mech
our
is
mechanic
back
has
up.
gotten back up, yes.
Yeah, this is just very, very tense here. Fafa really pushing for that 4-man elimination, which is, this is exactly what he needs. But, are we going to be able to get it here is the question. Prisoner taking the kite, looking, just very afraid of that pallet here. We will see that fly will come out a bit early. Prisoner taking a hit. Now we are at 2 ciphers remaining, and both of them are pretty close. Unfortunately, it does look like we were able to break the connection, so we won't be able to kind of knock or get both done at a time. But already, Mechanic Cipher is primed, so we could actually see this get pushed to a cipher pop.
Not quite. Oh, nope, never mind. We spotted the mechanic. We're gonna be seeing the football, but it's not enough of that football. We're gonna be seeing that mechanic go down again. We don't have any exit path for that mechanic here. Connection being cut off means that Prisoner can't pop that cipher from afar. Fafa just slugging for that 4K here. There's not much else Fusion is able to do with.
Yeah, especially with Prisoner's connection still on cooldown. Oh no, he actually was able to reconnect here. But I don't believe that was to the prime. Yeah, it wasn't to the cipher that's prime because Fafa broke that connection, so that's also on cooldown. We are going to see the stun once again from Prisoner, looking for the area of effect stun as well. Fafa could break that, but honestly doesn't need to because it's not like it's going to be used to decode any. Oh, and a Terror Shock as well as the stun out of attack
Oh
recovery!
my gosh, she's seeing
And
that
yeah,
surrender. We're gonna be seeing
wow.
5 points here for catching up with that 9-8 score like we were talking about. And that does lead them to be able to move on to that round 3 here.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible there from Fafa. And yeah, that was exactly the turnaround that needed. Yeah, that's our first 5-point game actually in this set. Just what an impressive show. No mercy there. And I feel like being able to not only being able to hit that mercenary, right as he went for that elbow pad, but also sneaking up on that mechanic just completely, that just changed the match. Even with the Cypher Rush in the beginning, even with the Novelist being able to kite for so long, and the delayed rescue as well to try and maximize that Cypher Rush. Unfortunately, Fusion just not able to keep up the steam.
Yeah, unfortunately there it's Fafa was able to take advantage of our survivors here and the mistakes they made, and honestly just ran with it and worked with it super well.
Yeah, and that will bring us into round 3. So round 3 with no opera singer because she has been global banned for both teams. So we'll be Sangria-less for the remainder of this. But I mean that still leaves so many hunters open for this round. Depending on what gets banned, I would definitely anticipate seeing that Goatman ban come out again for or against Hullabaloo, Ivy, both still technically on the table if they don't get banned. But I feel like now is where we're really going to start seeing the off-meta picks return.
Yeah, definitely, especially just with our map options here now. we already removed two of the like two really strong maps for especially for later rounds being Leo's and Lakeside. So we might be seeing something like Moonlit come out, something like oh, I don't know, Arms Factory. We could be seeing Church come out.
I would honestly like to see Ever Sleeping Town.
I would as well, definitely.
Ever Sleeping or Chinatown, I feel like I would like to see. Even though, I mean, because the main thing, for these teams, is the debate. Do you pick a strong map for your survivors and kind of leave your hunter hanging, or do you pick a more neutral map and open yourself up to the other team's hunter? Because both hunters, on both teams are so strong. The survivors do need to be cautious, but
Yeah,
it could
definitely.
definitely be to their benefit, I would say, to pick a kind of a more neutral map, something, like Chinatown, like Ever Sleeping, where you can see hunters be a bit stronger. I feel like that might be the play because we've seen, two slightly tougher maps in a row. I feel like at this point, Sacred Heart would be scary.
Yeah, definitely. Like Sacred Heart, it's just so strong for our survivors here. If they decide to choose that Sacred Heart, it could be bad for our hunters here, but honestly, we don't know how we might see them adapt to that hospital pick.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see that adaptation to a hospital pick, but it would scare me. It would scare me.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, especially with characters like Goatman, Opera off the table here for Fusion, their quote unquote meta, like their Fantastic Four character pool is like severely limited here, only down to Hullabaloo or the Shadow here.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, especially if we end up seeing a smaller map like Church, I feel like am I even allowed to say Disciple Band or do I have to say Herald?
I think
With her
I
with her
think you
name
could go
changed.
either way. I think everyone knows her
Yeah,
as Disciple, but
yeah.
her official name
The
is
the
Herald.
Anne the Anne ban, I feel like is almost inevitable going in there, or at the very least a very heavy counter comp.
Yeah.
Maybe even see the Prospector make a comeback if we
No, I
end
mean
up in that
honestly,
situation.
we've seen him a lot in this tourney so far. We've seen him like a good chunk of like rounds. I believe like 5 rounds total, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely hoping to see some of those more off meta picks. I mean, like we were thinking about earlier, like that cowboy a lot of people were asking for. I mean, I'm always hoping, but I would love to see a feaster. And
I
we
bet
do
you would.
know
I bet you would.
that that shut up. We
Hey,
do
I
know
you
that
you can talk about your feaster. I've talked about Lizard twice already, so
yeah. We have seen Fafa play Feaster in I believe the Persuadable tourney, if I'm not mistaken. So I can always hope.
yeah. I
Then
feel like
again,
I
then
feel like
again,
it's really map dependent.
then again, Fafa played Feaster on Ever Sleeping, which
Not so hot.
but not well, I mean, I think they needed like a 1K to guarantee the win, so
Yeah, at this point, Fusion and are very nearly tied. We're looking at 9 points to Fusion and 8 points to So it pretty much comes down. I mean, it almost comes down to whoever wins the round. Essentially, needs to win round three. Fusion can tie round three and still come out on top with that 1 point difference.
yeah,
And if
definitely.
Fusion wins round three, Fusion wins. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cut and dry. I don't believe there's an overtime condition now. But now that I've said that, there
Mm,
probably will somehow the match will turn out that way. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Especially like if Fusion is able to get a 5K here, I don't think that QM not 5K, 5 points here with the 4K.
No,
Um,
it's a 5K. The last kill is one of them coming through the screen and taking one of us out.
yeah, one of us will be. I'm already
Put us out of
halfway
our
there.
mercy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, but yeah, if Fusion is able to get that 4K here for the 5 points, there is honestly no way for UM to catch up, even if they get their like a 4K of their own. But
That is true. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, this can actually be decided in the first half because with that tie condition.
and I mean, honestly, also it depends on who is hunting and who's surviving first. Because if we do see Fusion hunting first and they get that 4K, then it could honestly be over first half.
Yeah. I do believe. Actually, no, I don't.
You don't believe?
Well, I believe in a few things, but yeah, I feel like at
We believe
this
in
at
getting the 4K here.
I think anything can happen. I definitely do think anything can happen, and I mean, we did just see Fafa go for that 4K, so yeah, it would definitely, bring us into the second half. Yeah, it looks like will be hunting first, so we won't see Fusion surviving, or we will see Fusion surviving. We won't see Fusion hunting first. That's what I was trying to say. Um, so yeah, I mean, not the impossible, but something could happen, and the if Fusion ends up with a 4-man escape, that would also decide the round immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Chances of a 4 escape here are super low, especially if we just honestly opt to go for getting as many survivors out at any means. It does look like we are going to be on that church here. Honestly, a very strong pick for both our hunter and survivors here. Very balanced map out here.
Yeah, I do. I feel like we will at the I mean, we could see Disciple Herald. We
Definitely.
could also be in a position here where she gets banned. We do have two hunter bans heading into round 3, so Ivy on the table, Hullabaloo as well. We have seen Hullabaloo still performing pretty consistently on Red Church because it is a smaller map. He has a little bit less to worry about in terms of the reduced mobility from his nerfs. And Disciple Herald still very, very strong. But I feel like we could also see even, a Soul Weaver ban if we're looking at Fafa and going, we're going to target
Definitely.
ban. That's also on the table here. So,
Yeah, definitely
yeah, but
getting rid of that. Oh, but we are seeing the prospector ban, which could honestly mean a disciple pick here.
yeah, that I feel like it could mean a disciple pick, but it also I feel like it throws the flag up so early that fusion survivors will, see that and immediately go, okay, like we need to counter comp this
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah. And we are seeing that Goatman and
Ooh.
Spider ban getting that spider out of there. We might be seeing that disciple here, honestly, for Fafa.
Yeah, disciple I mean, I would say she is very consistent on
Mhm.
church. It's pretty cut and dry in terms of getting a tie. Uh, does want to aim for, the most amount of eliminations here possible. A 4K would be ideal, and then their survivors really only need to get one escape. It looks like we're going to actually see a dancer ban as our third. We've got coordinator, fire investigator, and gravekeeper. So yeah, we're looking at a very strong comp here. I'm definitely excited to see this fire investigator as well because the
Yeah.
ability to lock off so many areas on Church. I feel like Church is kind of
Oh my
built for the fire
gosh.
investigator.
It honestly is. He's able to block off both. Well, actually, not both. All three entrances to the church. The entrance, both entrances to Shack, and honestly, just with how
Anywhere
close
with a
by all the
pallet.
kiting anywhere with a pallet, yeah.
Yeah, literally anywhere with a pallet. That's just fire investigator free real estate. Is that a painter man?
Painter, oh my
We're banning
gosh.
painter? I mean, honestly, you know what? You know what? I feel like it's logical. I feel like it's logical, especially on church. There's so many areas, kind of similarly to the fire investigator, where painter, if he's able to get that painting, can just drop a painting, immediately lock you in a pallet, or just disappear completely, or get so far away that the hunter's not able to catch up. With the walls, just everywhere on that map is just so easy to get lost within. So yeah, it's a good band, but letting the Antiquarian out. I mean, if we are looking at a disciple, Antiquarian can be a bit weak against her, but yeah, I mean it's risky.
It is a really risky play, honestly. With this entire team comp, they all have their own ways of being countered by a disciple here. But that Gravekeeper pick, honestly, super strong for this late game, especially considering, I mean, he's normally a round one pick. He's super strong rescuer. Being able to dodge the cats if we do end up seeing a disciple here, if he goes into a shovel, being able to counter that, the latch on, the ability disable. But
Yeah, I feel like in this situation as well, Fusion is going to be aiming for, maybe even just that one escape and relying on the next round, the next half to cement that win for them. But yeah, we will be seeing the disciple. Uh Not, I would say, not really a surprise, the prospector band being kind of a flashing neon sign saying I'm going to pick disciple. But yeah, she's a reliable enough hunter, I feel like, that you can put up the it's not so much like Hermit, where if you ban the obvious, you're still going to get counter comped. I feel like the Gravekeeper here, as you were saying, Sam, really is the only. I mean, Fire Investigator is definitely very good, and very
mhm.
annoying, but I feel it's not like a specifically annoying against. Well, if we see, I'm gonna eat my words, because if we see an airbag knock Disciple out of her dash midway through the dash, or midway through the jump, that's gonna I'm gonna eat my words in terms of Fire Investigator not being a specific encounter. But yeah, anything can happen here. Anything can happen. And we will be seeing and spawn up near the exit gate in the north corner.
Yeah.
Gravekeeper at Shack, Coordinator pretty far away, and yeah, it looks like we could definitely see that Fire Investigator take first kite. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Antiquarian take it though, because she is weaker against the Disciple and not being able to get her flute out in time for those
Yeah,
stuns.
definitely. Yeah.
But
And
heading
and
into round 3, first half here, Fusion versus UM. Best of luck to both teams. We are in the end game.
yeah, definitely. Again, like Fafa's able to get that 4-man from 5 points. We could be seeing like an upset here from UM, but
Looks like we are looking for Antiquarian, but she has rotated out of the church. So we won't be immediately running into her. Really good rotation here from Fusion already, and it looks like Gravekeeper is the one who's ended up in the Hunter's sights.
already a cat coming out, just being able to counter the Gravekeeper. Seeing the cats already go out, hitting Gravekeeper out of his
Wow.
shovel.
Really great use of that jump, even with the Gravekeeper just kind of, immediately dropping the cat and running. Still able to hit that shovel for the first hit.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing that jump again. Honestly, I think we're just opting to make this Gravekeeper waste as much of his utilities as possible, getting those shovels out super early game.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Oh, the missed blink! Yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't,
super unfortunate here for Fafa.
And yep, there's gonna be the second shovel that will be hit again as well. Coordinator actually swapping items here. It looks like she was in a chest, so we've got the elbow pad as well as the gun to work with. Might also be bringing an item over to Gravekeeper if we're able to make it that far. Nicely done with the cat though. That will be the first hit on Gravekeeper, but already these ciphers are moving so quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And if our Gravekeeper's able to last until like at least 2 of those ciphers are popped, this could be looking like
Oh!
super well played
Yeah, that
from Fafa,
was
using those cats to cut off the Gravekeeper from vaulting.
that 2 cipher kite though. So yeah, definitely a lot of cipher rush in play. But yeah, what a beautiful cat just stunning Gravekeeper out of that vault. Coordinator as well. Okay, Coordinator has picked her gun back up, so she can come in for the rescue here, but Gravekeeper was the only tide turner on the team.
You know,
And actually hiding behind the
beautiful
the
flywheel to cancel
there.
the stun.
Oh!
We're gonna be seeing that gun come out.
Wow!
Beautifully played from that Coordinator there. Using
Yeah,
that flywheel
both
to cancel out
survivors.
the stun.
Being able to juke the hitbox as well, just great work there. Gravekeeper able to pull so much distance away from the chair, even without any items to work with. But he is going to go ahead and just run into this corner. Disciple is at full presence now, so that cat radius has just gotten a lot more dangerous.
And our
Gravekeeper was rescued
Coordinator.
before half though.
Yes, that wasn't before. It was actually like a 49 rescue. We were seeing Anti nearby. We were seeing the balloon rescue. Beautifully played from the Antiquarian, hitting a 3rd time. Unfortunately. Oh, Antiquarian taking the body block!
Wow!
Oh, beautifully played from our Anti here. Unfortunately for Gravekeeper, just getting caught off by those cats. Super huge radius, had plenty of time to travel. But we are looking like just 1 cipher remaining, and it's already at 80%. Seeing another balloon rescue here. Fafa really wanting to go for that basement rescue. This Coordinator able to get the body block. No, not quite. But we are seeing. Are we going to see both ciphers pop? We're seeing both ciphers pop.
A late pop. Gravekeeper not able to pull enough distance away. Yeah, that was a late pop for. I feel like that might have been a miscommunication on Fusion's end. We are looking at, I would say, maybe a tie here. Beautifully done with that elbow pad from Coordinator, just getting out of the way. But already we have the gate opening. Coordinator might be on her way to dungeon as well. So this I feel like this is still looking like a 3-man escape.
Definitely. Although we do have our Anti here. No flute to work with, no flywheel to work with, but we do have that front red carpet gate open. So we could be seeing our Antiquarian just skip out on the rescue here and just opting to run immediately towards that gate.
Yeah, it looks like that will be the case. Disciple not knowing which gate is open. Okay, it looks like we do have the now, and all survivors have actually run away from the gate here. Fire Investigator getting caught out, not able to get the airbag down in time! I feel like at this point, survivors can just take the tie.
Yeah, it's definitely getting that 2-person escape. It's definitely the best bet, and it looks like that's what they're going to be opting to do here. Yeah, that's super unfortunate that they ran away from gate there. Honestly, almost being able to guarantee a 3-man, but taking the tie instead for those 2 points, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it still puts them in a very good position heading into the second half of round 3, because we do, with Mushin hunting again, he's exclusively gotten 3-man eliminations during this bracket.
Definitely.
So minimum needing a draw, is definitely being in a good position here for Fusion. But does need a 3-man escape, for their survivor side. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, it definitely evens things out. It's still a safe result, I would say, for Fusion, despite, being able to get that 3-man escape and unfortunately not quite achieving it. Yeah.
Even if, we need UM here to at least get a 3 escape. Otherwise, that 1 point lead that Fusion has right now is gonna decide the round here.
Yeah, it's very much all or nothing heading into the second half of round 3, which I mean, kind of always is heading into the second half of round 3.
Mhm,
But right now, yeah, I mean, if I feel like needing a tie is kind of the safest position that you could possibly be in, when it comes to, going in on your hunter side, regardless of the situation, because
yeah,
I was kind of talking about this earlier, but that's the mindset that I go into hunter rank with. Is it's going to get a tie and anything else is extra. So being in a position where you really just only need to get the tie and anything else is extra, the main key here is to not allow the survivor to exploit that and go for more.
mhm.
Um, I'm anticipating that cowboy band to show up again.
It
I really
You
am.
know what? I
It
I
would be
100%
warranted.
agree.
Yeah, because I mean, this is absolutely a situation where you do not want to see those harassers from Mushin's side. You do not want to see those harassers. Especially do not want to see a cowboy, especially on Red Church. I feel like Red Church is one of those maps where cowboy is just almost not unstoppable, but very, very strong, being able to rescue through windows, through walls. Like there's almost nowhere on the map that cowboy can't be in a position to rescue from. So yeah, I feel like that cowboy is either going to be out of here in the first couple bans or in here with the first couple picks, because it's in a situation where needs to pull out all their stops in order to secure, because they are in a position where they can take the victory from behind for an upset. So I would, I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, at minimum here, they need a I believe they'd need a two-man escape just to claim the victory here. So definitely playing for
Yeah.
that tie is definitely their best bet.
Needs a 3-man escape
Yeah.
because they
Oh,
are
did I
currently
say
one.
UM? I'm in Fusion.
Yeah, Fusion needs a tie. Needs a 3-man escape. So a little bit, I would say, at a disadvantage, but still definitely in a position where if they're just able to pull out all their stops and not buckle under the pressure, and yeah, we will see that cowboy band make a turn. Not even wanting to think about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, though. We're seeing the Ivy and Geisha ban.
Yeah, Ivy and
Honestly.
Geisha definitely, what you're working with when you come with Mushin. So getting that Geisha off the
Mhm.
table, the Geisha and Cowboy being on here is, respect for respect. But we are going to see the Fire Investigator again and the Batter. So still going to get that harassment in there somehow.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing that
Batter
dancer
definitely holding
ban.
strong. Batter's such a strong pick here as well, because with the amount of walls, it's again, he is just one of those harassers that can just keep going and going and going. If he's able to pick up the ball immediately, able to really use the rage kind of in moderation for early on. Batter, I feel like Batter is kind of, that's the pick you want to go for when Cowboy is banned, because he has that same sort of rechargeability, slightly less of a decoding debuff as well as compared to forward. And we will see Acrobat, also another very strong red church pick. So yeah, really, really looking for that kiting as well here, with the Acrobat. Oh, there's our mechanic ban.
Yeah. Taking out that mechanic, especially late round, we're gonna be wanting to take her out as fast as possible just to prevent that Cypher rush. But we do have
Oh,
our Aeroplanist as our fourth pick, finally getting to see a little arrow action.
yeah, I feel like that's one of those picks that we did see so much in the previous year, but has kind of fallen out. Especially, I mean, like I feel like the main thing with Aeroplanus is just you need to know what you're doing. You need to
Mhm.
be just so focused because it is so easy to misclick. I think we did actually see an Aeroplatist, you know,
Yeah, we did see it.
we
Yeah,
did. It was
on
the first
Moonlit.
match, tried to jet away and then just went right back into the hunter. So yeah,
Yeah.
Aeroplatist, he's a very strong character. And I feel like he's a little bit unappreciated for that as well, underappreciated for
Mhm,
that as well. I mean, he was actually the most picked character in Koa 8, by
mhm.
far. He was pretty much always there. So yeah, once you can get over the hurdle of having to pay attention to the directions, to pretty much everything, um, when it comes to playing Aeroplanus, he is a really strong pick. So I'm excited to see him come out here.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, we could be seeing another Disciple, but we could also be seeing, like, something else coming out. It does look like we're gonna be seeing that Hermit coming out.
Ooh! This is
Honestly,
bold.
but honestly, being with, like, what we're working with here, picking that Hermit, trying to stall the game for as long as possible to get as many people out could honestly be the right call here.
Yeah, I think, well, it's it's very kind of a seesaw right now because on one
Mhm.
hand you have Hermit being able to stall the ciphers. None of these characters are decoders, and there's no healer on the team. But the greatest counter of a Hermit is that form NVC. So if UM
Uh-huh.
is able to communicate their way through this, as well as having the batter, batter is a very strong harasser, and Hermit is very vulnerable to harassment, especially from a batter who can attack from afar, and being able to knock Hermit out of long range teleports, knock Hermit back as well before the stun lands, kind of playing that game as well. So I'm definitely excited to see the harassment potential from Batter, also from Fire Investigator with the airbags. If we're able to get some of those airbags in convenient places to assist with kites, it it really can go either way, and especially with a hunter like Hermit who is so um inconsistent
Mhm.
with, it's pretty much format 4K or 4 escape, more
Yeah.
or less when it comes to Hermit. So yeah, I'm very excited to see which way this match turns.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, it's all up to this round. This is what'll decide this matchup here. So we are moving on. We're on round three, second half. This is the deciding round. Needs a three escape here to claim the victory. Good luck to both teams.
Yes, best of luck to both teams. We're immediately going to see those ciphers connect and looking for the fire investigator first, at least for the time being. No survivors have gotten on a cipher just yet, still rotating out. And it looks like we might actually catch sight of Aeroplanus, no, Acrobat here, my bad. And yeah, that actually looks like we're gonna switch targets and head for him. Unless...
Trying to
All right,
red light
playing
trick,
some
but
mind games.
that acrobat just
Ooh!
calling distance. Very well placed charge there.
With this amount of
Okay.
time, though, we are nearly done with the initial cooldown on those swaps. So survivors, yep,
Ooh.
immediately we are going to see that Aeroplanus swapping to blue and share that charge with Acrobat.
Yeah, however, we do have two ciphers the survivors are working on that aren't connected. Where, ooh, very beautiful stun, getting the hit over the window.
Teleport is up, not quite making it into the shack. But we do have Fire Investigator in our sights now without a charge. Oh, beautifully done with the airbag, forcing the blink out.
Very well played from our fire investigator here. Getting that trade out, taking another charge. However, Acrobat being able to switch, giving our fire investigator a little bit longer kite here. Blocking off that entrance. Only one more airbag to work with, and that's the one left in the shack here.
Looks like he is rotating back
Very
to it. He's
well
going to
placed stun.
red. And going to get caught in the red once again. Yes, he does still have another hit left in him, and we are going to be able to conserve the airbag as well. Actually going to replace it, but not quite being able to land that.
Yeah, no, this
Fire
fire
investigator
investigator
will
is
go
dead
down with the
either
next
way.
hit.
So getting as much damage to the other survivors as possible here definitely is going to be working in Fusion's favor.
Nicely done, rotating back to the airbag. We're going to see him playing around this window, actually being able to come out on the other side of that. Hermit not able to get the hit through the window. He was actually at an angle where I don't think that would anyway. And once again, using the airbag. Hermit missing the window again here. 4 ciphers are still remaining, but one of them is just about to pop. I would say at this point, Mushin waiting on that cipher. Wait, yep, we're gonna go ahead and reconnect that.
Yeah, it does look like our
I think
batter
that
is healing up. Our batter did heal up our acrobat here.
I think that reconnection actually missed the 3 remaining ciphers. Once it's 3 ciphers remaining.
Oh! Yeah. Unfortunately got mind game here. But it does look like everyone has a charge on them. Batter on the 70% cipher here. Now our first share at 3 ciphers here, but our Hermit does have full presence here, so this is only going to get easier for him.
Beautiful hover done from Aeroplatus!
Oh,
the hover right over to the chair. Fire investigator is going to take a hit though.
Yeah.
We could go for a charge here while he's on tide to try and distribute a little bit more damage, but I don't think Hermit's going to be able to get a straight shot. Yeah, Fire Investigator is going to break that, or drop that pallet, force Hermit into breaking it. Not enough time for the charge to connect. Blink is back online though, and we won't be seeing any trump card. We do have Insolent Detention, so that could definitely change things coming into the end game here. Already, we're at 1 cipher remaining.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, here, they need that 3 escape, and they're on a very good trajectory for it.
Yeah, 3 escape, even a 4 escape is possible here, as long as they're able to get Fire Investigator off chair once again, and they will. And Batter is now here for the harassment, and Acrobat as well with the slow bomb. It's not going to quite affect Hermit as much as it would. He did have teleport online, but no survivors.
Oh, seeing the blink come out!
The blink came out, but Batter is still in the area.
Are we just gonna be
ciphers are actually ciphers? Okay, they are connected.
Last cipher remaining. Acrobat taking the down. Are we gonna be able to stun this Batter out for rescue? If we're seeing the flywheel to dodge that, are we gonna be seeing the cipher pop here soon? We're gonna be seeing that cipher pop.
Yes!
And we have 4 people up for this endgame. Looking super good for here.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. We are in Hermit endgame, but survivors can actually tank detention hits as long as they're sharing polarity. Hermit needs to be very careful. Oh, but it looks like we are going to get 3 survivors here with the red polarity. Hermit missing the teleport as well, trying to get the stun on the Fire Investigator, and a pallet stun instead!
Our Fire Investigator can take 1 hit, I believe. And honestly, if he doesn't know where dungeon is though, so this is looking like it might be just a 3-man escape, but this is just enough for here.
Hermit leaving, moving towards the opposite exit gate, but I think both will be opened, or at the very least, yeah, we do actually have that. Yeah, okay. The other gate is at 91%.
1 escape.
2 escapes.
3
and
escapes.
3 escapes. That is the win for UM. You're on your own pings from Acrobat. But he still has a Nitro Bomb in play, looking for that dungeon. Yeah, unfortunately not able to get it. That is going to be a 1-man elimination here. But what a way to turn things around for your mom.
Wow, just super well played. Their teamwork there, especially at the end, worked out so well for them. Being like with their especially really rough first round with that Nightmare only being able to get 1 kill. Just really turning it around there is super impressive there. And honestly, like congratulations to for bringing it back, for not losing hope because of their rough early rounds. Just super well played from both teams.
Yeah, that is the risk of bringing a hermit into that the four-man VC, as well as Mushin was playing dual faction this entire time, and we were talking about that earlier, playing every single game of 9 games in a row, or 6 games in a row, my bad.
6
But
games, yeah.
even so, I can't count. I lost my ability to read numbers after trying to keep score this whole time. But yeah, 6 games in a row, going back and forth and back and forth. I mean, kudos to Fusion for being able to put up such a good fight. But your mom taking another decisive victory and heading into our finals, just absolutely incredibly done from everybody who involved today.
Yeah, super well played from everyone, and congratulations one more time to UM
Yep,
for being able to pull that victory.
that is our only match for today, but we will be back
Mhm.
tomorrow for H2O versus
H2O,
Victory. That will
yes.
be at 3 p.m. EST, so a little bit earlier than we were today. And we will be seeing Mima and Barry for our commentators tomorrow. So be sure to come back tomorrow, show them all that you gave to us. Sam, it was an absolute pleasure being able to commentate with you this week
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Everyone have a good night. Get ready for tomorrow. We're gonna be seeing what teams head into our finals here.